If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. Of all things, I liked books best. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. What we now want is closer contact and better understanding between individuals and communities all over the earth, and the elimination of egoism and pride which is always prone to plunge the world into primeval barbarism and strife. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. What one man calls God, another calls the laws of physics. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. I am credited with being one of the hardest workers, and perhaps I am, if thought is the equivalent of labor, for I have devoted to it almost all of my waking hours. But if work is interpreted to be a definite performance in a specified time according to a rigid rule, then I may be the worst of idlers. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on that truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible. The individual is ephemeral, races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. But instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have, undoubtedly, certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction, or any other willful effort of the brain, is futile. It's not the love you make. It's the love you give. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. My method is different. I do not rush into actual work. When I get an idea, I start at once building it up in my imagination. I change the construction, make improvements, and operate the device entirely in my mind. The scientific man does not aim at an immediate result. He does not expect that his advanced ideas will be readily taken up. His work is like that of the planter, for the future. His duty is to lay the foundation for those who are to come, and point the way. He lives and labors and hopes. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. Inventors don't have time for married life. So astounding are the facts in this connection, that it would seem as though the Creator, himself had electrically designed this planet. Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races, and we are still far from this blissful realization. I'm not sorry that they stole my ideas, but that they didn't have their own. Great moments are born great opportunity. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. As I review the events of my past life, I realize how subtle are the influences that shape our destinies. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. It is not in the shallow physical imitation of men that women will assert first their equality and later their superiority, but in the awakening of the intellect of women. There is something within me that might be illusion, as it is often case with young delighted people, but if I would be fortunate to achieve some of my ideals, it would be on the behalf of the whole of humanity. We are all one. Only egos, beliefs, and fears separate us. Of all things I liked books best. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. When natural inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7-league boots. One has to be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. A new idea must not be judged by its immediate results. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Which quotation do you like the most? Don't forget to subscribe.